You know, I wish I'd have had some white privilege, dude. Sign me up. But I didn't have it, man. It was just poor black kids, poor white kids, man. And my poor black friends would always be like, man, look what you did to us. And I'm like, dude, do you think I would do all that shit to y'all and then move right next door, bro? Now, we gonna split this plum or not, dog?
Theodore Kapitani von Karnatowski, known professionally as Theo Von, is an American comedian, podcast host, and television personality. He was born on March 19, 1980, in Covington, Louisiana. Theo grew up in a rural community outside of New Orleans, and his childhood was marked by poverty and family dysfunction.
Some of them got me on the ground, and one of them came off a fucking rooftop from next door. I swear to God, I still remember a couple of them were getting me and looking back and seeing one come from something in the air. And they had tons of stray animals where I was from. You had to infuse that in everything you did, wherever you went, or if you were going to bike or play ball.
I gotta jump by a bunch of
Cats. And that'll make you feel like a little bitch, too. I mean, first of all, your dad's dying. And now there's cats jumping you. It's just.
I remember I got on a school bus one day, and the man didn't even take us to school. He just drove us around, and
Fuck off.
swear to God, and then just drove us back home eventually.
What's wrong with him?
He didn't say anything either.
Probably drunk.
And when at a certain point,
He
you
likes
don't
to
ask.
I have an interesting family myself. My father was 70 years old when I was born. It's a true story. Yes, wow. My mother was 32, which basically makes me a stand-up comedian. Or a product of loose skin, loose morals, if you look at it like that. Yeah, it's just my life. Chill out.
Despite the challenges he faced, Theo attended Louisiana State University, and later the University of New Orleans, where he received his undergraduate degree. After college, Theo got his start in the entertainment industry in 2000 at the age of 19. He was on the MTV reality show Road Rules, Maximum Velocity Tour, and later a spin-off show called The Challenge.
Today's a different kind of day for Theo. Like about the past month, I've seen like I'm in limbo, kind of like I'm between like lives, kind of like part ghost, part human. My father died a couple years ago. Sorry to hear that. And then my mother actually lives down in Tucson.
Yeah?
I think at the age of 14, my mother emancipated me, like legally emancipated me, like signing the contract and everything that just says that I'm responsible for my own actions and whatnot.
Over the next several years, Theo continued to appear on television shows and specials, including Last Comics Standing Live at Gotham Inside Amy Schumer and Court Ordered.
Have you been hitting the shine there, Hoss?
No!
Uh-huh. And whose tequila is that, sir?
My friend is drinking it. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight. I'd like to report a missing persons.
Did you piss your pants? Are you scared because you did something wrong?
No, that's been there all day.
You know you're under arrest, right?
Shortly after I was born, my dad had one of his strokes, so we were both learning to walk at the same time. And we used to have little races for cookies. Soft batch. And we would play games like catch or don't. And my favorite is Dad sleeping or is he no longer with us? Your turn to hold the mirror under his nose.
Theo's upbringing in a small southern town heavily influences his comedy, which often focuses on his family and his experiences growing up. He has released several comedy specials and shows, including No Offense and 30-Pound Bag of Hamster Bones, and has performed on numerous podcasts, including Joey Diaz, the H3 podcast, and the Joe Rogan Experience.
You don't think that's his real hair?
Nope. No, it's definitely not. He's got great wigs, though.
How good can a wig be?
It can only be so good. You know, because if you're running and it gets sweaty, you're like, oh my God, I wish I didn't have this thing.
If you're wearing a wig,
Look at
I don't
that.
think you're running anymore, though. I think some things you got to let go.
Smelling salts.
Can I try one?
Well, you don't try one. It's like just open up the back. This is the idea.
Okay.
There's a gentleman on the podcast the other day. He's a power lifter, Rob Kearney, and Rob told us we were talking about smelling salts.
The gay power lifter guy?
Yeah, his
Yep.
world's strongest gay is his Instagram.
Right.
And he was telling us about, God, It's fucking nasty. He was telling us about smelling salts. We're talking about smelling salts and about like it's a big deal.
I don't think you're supposed to take it out.
Okay.
You have to shake it though.
I think you just take a whiff. They do that right before they lift. Are you okay? Yeah.
Before they lift what, bro?
Before they lift weights.
You're not supposed to.
Before they lift the fucking universe? Before they lift their future? Take a gander on that with your face hitter, Daddy. Take a gander on that with that face hitter, Joe.
Despite his difficult upbringing and struggles, Theo Von has become a successful comedian and respected voice in the entertainment industry. In 2016, Theo released his debut comedy special, Theo Von, No Offense. He continued to tour extensively, performing his unique blend of storytelling and observational humor across the United States.
Just been chasing these hoes, really. No offense, hoes. Just trying to meet a good lady. You know, I see some of y'all got one. Good on you. Some lovely ladies here tonight. It's tough. You got to have money these days to get a woman, you know? And I don't blame you ladies. Who wants to fuck some poor guy? That's nasty. You get done banging, you're just laying there all poor.
Theo's comedy often revolves around his personal experiences and struggles with addiction, relationships, and the challenges of growing up in the South. His unique perspective and charismatic personality have earned him a loyal following among comedy fans and fans of his podcasts. Theo Von's podcasting career began in 2011 with the launch of his show The Comedy Sideshow, where Theo would interview comedians and other entertainers. The show had 23 episodes.
Is he truly a mentally handicapped actor or no?
Yeah.
Oh, he actually has a mental handicap.
Yeah, he has Down syndrome.
Does he really?
Yeah.
DS, they call it.
Yeah, DS.
Or God's favorites, that's what they call it now. Because you're actually not allowed to say DS anymore.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I actually grew up, we had a cousin named Gary who was blind.
Yeah.
And this is actually a good story.
That's very similar to
Very
Eddie's,
similar.
Eddie's condition.
It's
yeah.
basically like Down syndrome of the eyes.
Yeah, yes.
And he, one year we hit him with a bunch of...
Then in 2015, Theo started the podcast Allegedly with Theo Von and Matthew Cole Weiss. The show featured celebrity interviews and covered various topics such as pop culture, current events, and gossip. The podcast had 123 episodes and lasted 3 years.
Could have been great. I don't know. I haven't met her. It could have been a really interesting interview.
She was pretty chill.
Like, how's it going?
Yeah, we just thought you were both on the show, so we're like, oh, well, we'll have them both on and we'll talk about the show.
Oh.
And that would have.
One of you guys, isn't on.
So
that's weird. Anyway,
we've got the one who is on the show.
I am on it, and it's super fun, and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's a great show. It's a really funny show.
Thank you.
And so I've explained the point system to you.
After Allegedly, Theo launched his own podcast this past weekend in December 2016. The show quickly gained a large following and features Theo discussing a range of topics including his own personal life, his stand-up comedy, and interviews with fellow comedians and guests from various walks of life.
Why is it hard for people to let go of what's so familiar to them, even if it's bad?
Well, because it's complicated. You know, and the thing, that's a really good question. You discount the risk of familiarity that they're familiar with. So like, let's say...
Because people are in relationships. People are in relationships with the drugs and alcohol. People are in relationships with humans. People are in relationships with jobs. People are in relationships with their own selves. And they're living a lie every single day, but it's familiarity.
Yeah, well, you say...
In addition to his podcasting career, Theo has continued to perform stand-up comedy, releasing several specials including No Offense and Regular People, which were both well received by audiences and critics alike.
My father was 70 when I was born. He was born in 1910, which is kind of crazy, man. Dude, my grandfather was born in 1880. Yeah. We didn't have any pictures of him. We had a description of my grandfather framed on the wall. Somebody wrote down what he looked like, and Mom framed it.
Theo's unique style of storytelling and ability to connect with his audience through his podcast and comedy performances have made him a beloved figure in the entertainment industry. As of 2023, he continues to be a popular and active voice in the podcasting community. regularly releasing new episodes of this past weekend and making guest appearances on other shows. Theo is widely regarded as one of the best in the modern comedy world.
I used to listen to like the most sentimental shit in the gym. I would be just, and I was doing steroids in high school, so I'm doing steroids just ball. People are like, is it the steroids? Is it the music? What is going on, bro? Get it together. I'm at the gym, bro, and I'm fucking crying. I'm fucking trying to do 45s and I'm fucking bawling crying.